So it's not a total win for Donald Trump, but what they did, in essence, was they made it clear that the president has immunity in official acts, but not unofficial acts. But it's necessary for prosecutors to define why something was not an official act if they're going to go after a president. So I know that gets kind of twisted and turned around. Essentially, they're saying the burden of proof, again, is on the state, that the state has to demonstrate that whatever the president did was not in his capacity as the chief executive of the United States. Pretty simple.
So the hot take will be, well, Donald Trump, he can just go kill anybody he wants and then he'll have immunity.
No, he can't. That's not it. And I've already seen some left-wing losers going out there and saying, that means that Joe Biden could mobilize the military and make sure it cancel the election and drone strike Donald Trump to save democracy. No, that's not what they said.
Did they say it like that?
They say it exactly like that because they're children and they can't read.
Okay, so it's a case-by-case kind of thing.
Yeah, well, the prosecutors would have to demonstrate first and foremost why action A, B, or C was not part of the core functions of the presidency. That would be part of it. And so this doesn't overturn any of the prosecutions against Donald Trump, but it certainly raises a lot of questions about where those prosecutions go moving forward.
Well, at least the way I understand it, that it's hamstrung Jack Smith a lot, and there's no way that trial's going to happen before the election.
No. And I like it. Yeah, and one of the reasons why it's hamstrung him is because the court also says things that he did that fall within protected conduct cannot be used as evidence against him for non-protected conduct. So you can't say, hey, he was doing this in his official capacity, but that helps us prove a case about something he did not within his official capacity. So it's all got to be kind of self-contained. In other words, it's sort of the shoot someone on Fifth Avenue thing.
Right.
You know, that would clearly be a violation of the law, and you could pretty easily, you know, if it's like Donald Trump just sees somebody he doesn't like and shoots him and kills him, well, it'd be pretty easy to prove that was not in his capacity as president of the United States, unless it's like, oh, by the way, Osama bin Laden is still alive, and he was on Fifth Avenue in New York, and so President Donald John Trump shot him in the face again. You know, in that case, then, you know, you would have a problem prosecuting him.
Right. 3 points.
What's up, everybody? It's Eli Tomac. Buy any Monster Energy. Upload your receipt. Earn points to
improve. Come July 11th, at the sentencing for Trump, he's going to jail.
Yeah.
They're going to make sure he goes to jail now. That was just my first gut reaction. That could be wrong.
Well, I felt like it made it harder now, but
no, I'm saying, oh my gosh, we're losing all these different cases. All of this is going on. Nothing seems to be working for the left right now. We need to get this guy in jail. That's what I'm thinking as far as the sentencing go.
The other interesting thing is, as far as the 34 felonies that were thrown against him, some of the evidence that they used were his actions as president. So if that evidence, like I just mentioned, if that evidence is no longer viable, are those convictions worthy of being overturned now?
We'd have to say, yeah. I mean, I'm not the legal scholar, but you would think so, right?
Yeah.
We'll see. Meanwhile, well, there's panic ever since the debate. You know that. You probably heard about it all weekend long.
I did.
You know, different people talking about it. Of course, it's been covered all over the place.
His campaign is eager to turn the page, making calls to donors and Democrats, but the questions about his age and mental fitness have not gone away.
Of course not. That's ABC, by the way.
You think they are going to go away? I mean, we all saw it. And some of you saw it for the very first time.
Yeah, because they've hidden him for a long time. And if you're only getting your news from those places, you don't see one screw-up after another, and losing his mind and shaking hands with ghosts and wondering where dead people are. All that stuff, it would be, I guess, new news to a lot of people. I mean, to us, it was kind of like, okay, I knew he'd be bad. Maybe not that bad, but not that big a surprise. But he was back out there on the campaign trail, David.
Yeah, Joe Biden tried to get fired up at a rally after that debate, and he tried to throw out a new nickname for Donald Trump.
Okay, roll it.
America's flat on its back. So I told Trump that it was just one of two presidents in American history who left office with fewer jobs than he started. Herbert Hoover was the other one. That's why I call him Donald Herbert Hoover Trump.
Oh, I see.
Oh no, you're trying to do the nickname thing
Well,
now?
people are going to Google right away. Who's Herbert Hoover?
Yeah, let's prove how relevant and with it Joe Biden is by throwing in a Herbert Hoover reference.
Yeah. He got a dam named after him, you know. Hey.
My gosh, man. Yeah, where's another thing that I've seen with all the tactics from the left? Well, say what you want. Maybe he's. He's lost his step, okay? But he tells the truth.
Yeah, I like that one. That's one
The
of my favorites.
torrent of Donald Trump's lies.
Right.
You know, all those different things, and he's
I
out there.
don't debate as well as I used to.
He doesn't debate.
But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth.
Till you don't. Every day.
And I thought, wow, that's interesting. Because even on CNN, their own fact checker, after the debate, called out all the lies.
He said he's the only president in a while who didn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world. Troops have, of course, died on his watch. He said he's put in a $15 per shot cap on insulin and Medicare. It's a $35 a month cap. He said it's a $200 cap on overall drug spending in Medicare. It's $2,000 a year. He said the border now has fewer crossings than when Trump was in office. That's generally not true. He said, or at least strongly suggested, unemployment was at 15% when he took office. It was actually 6.4. He said Trump wants to get rid of Social Security. Trump doesn't. He said billionaires pay 8.2% in taxes. It's much higher. He said Trump told Americans to inject bleach amid COVID. We know Trump made foolish comments about scientists studying disinfectant injection, but didn't frame it as advice to people. And Biden said the Border Patrol endorsed him. No, its union supported the border bill he supported, never endorsed him himself.
Well, you forgot about the fine people hoax, too. Yeah. And that Trump said he'd be a dictator on day one. And others that we don't have time for right now.
I like the way they bitch about CNN not fact-checking Trump during the debate.
Oh, yeah.
They're upset by that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all part of the fact. It's just a frame. Well, Trump just lies all the time.
Yeah.
See, they didn't fact-check him. They're not going to admit that Biden lied about several things. I guess they could just always say, well, he got confused. Okay? And then they took another confused individual and put her out there to defend Trump, and that would be one Nancy Pelosi.
Man.
That's still
Yeah, a lot of people were like, did she hit the sauce before she was going on there, or is that her normal state? We're not quite sure.
And, you know, while he may be saying we're enablers, we see Joe Biden up close. We know how attuned he is to the issues, how informed he is. And I debate with him about legislation, and not debate, but discuss it with him. He's right there. So in any case, it was a bad...
He's right there with the issues. He's a freaking president. I hope so.
I can't.
Doesn't everybody think that when you hear someone say that? You know, he's really on top of it. Goodness gracious, I hope he is. He's the president of the United States. Dang, man.
It was a bad night. Let's not sugarcoat that. It was a bad night. It was a great presidency.
What was that little kissy sound?
That's still
Good. I don't macking together there. Yeah.
I don't know exactly what that was. Sometimes is it Janet yelling, you think it's the Werthers?
Werthers original, yeah.
I don't know if it's that, if it's, Cottonmouth from some, I'm not quite sure what it is.
Bad night. Let's not sugarcoat that. It was a bad night. It was a great presidency.
You better get a cube of sugar or something.
I don't know why that made me laugh. Let's not sugarcoat it. What? What? Was she just hitting on the interviewer, actually?
I'm not sure.
Let's not.
That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet.
Really missing out on a great opportunity, though.
That was Dana Bash, though, right?
I think it was Dana Bash.
Yeah. It's Pelosi's from San Francisco,
Of course,
Sammy,
whatever.
Sammy Hagar's got Cabo Wabo, and the Cheap Trick guy's got their own line of booze.
Yeah.
Nancy's vodka is that far behind?
Maybe.
I'm Nancy Pelosi. I endorse this.
There you go. David, you're bringing in some Bill Maher today. What Bill Maher have to say?
I thought this was kind of funny. Liberal commentator Bill Maher opened up the show talking about the debate on Friday night.
In case you missed it, don't worry, so did one of the contestants. Trump told lie after lie after lie. He never would have gotten away with that if Joe Biden was there. Come on, man. Joe. You know Joe, he famously loves trains, but apparently not of thought. I don't want to say he's the bed. His new Secret Service name is Amber Heard. I'm coming. This guy was bad.
Okay, I'll give it up for that. Was pretty good. That was pretty decent.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. There's a lot to get to. Anybody here remember when Dr. Jill was on The View talking about Trump had the cognitive issues?
Yep.
Someone remixed that, and it's hilarious. We'll get to that and much more coming up.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month. Surface credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
Why is Navage perfect for allergy sufferers? Rhino Systems Medical Director Dr. Howard Levine explains.
If someone's exposed to allergens, they can get rid of those immediately by washing out the nose. Navage works by pulling saline in one nostril, through the nose and out the other nostril, sucking out allergens, mucus, dust, and germs. Experience on-the-spot relief, so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier.
Navage is available at Sam's Club, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or online at Navage.com. Navage. Breathe easy.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. The Biden campaign shut down interviews with voters?
Yeah,
Why?
This was at a rally that Kamala Harris attended in Las Vegas. According to the New York Times, one reporter writes, as I spoke to voters at a Las Vegas rally for Vice President Harris, a Nevada Biden campaign staffer followed me and twice asked that voters end their interviews when their comments turned critical of President Biden. So, like, one undecided voter said he wished Biden would step aside and let Kamala Harris be the nominee. The staffer interrupted and saying, I'm going to stop it here. Sorry, if I can. It's a Biden event. Is that okay?
Oh, wow.
Whoa, no.
That's how desperate.
Okay, so was the staffer not? Kamala didn't say that.
No.
Because Kamala's there going,
Yay!
Like, yeah,
right.
Finally. Been waiting for my turn. My goodness. I don't know if you saw, a lot of people were having fun online with the whole debate. One of the ones that I thought was really entertaining was, how do you say her name, David? Jill?
Oh, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden.
There you go. Remember when she was on The View and they were trying to make the argument that Trump was the one with dementia?
Yeah.
He's the one with cognitive decline?
Right.
So they took some of the clips of that, put some clips from the debate together.
Built that in where they're going to turn off those mics so that somebody can't ramble.
Get away with, you get rid of the ability of Medicare
or scream at somebody.
You're the sucker. You're the loser.
Not that my husband would be the one doing that. You need to see Trump and you need to see the president and you need to see the differences. My husband's, and you're going to see how smart he is.
Dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if
He is, and the experience he has.
we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden.
And you'll see somebody who, like you're saying, I'm going to use Joy's words, can't put a sentence together, and everything is beautiful, and it's wonderful.
Joe, our country is being destroyed as you and I sit up here and waste a lot of time on this debate. This shouldn't be a debate.
So I think you deserve, the American people deserve to see the two men who are running for this office.
The total initiative relative to what we can do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
That was my favorite line of the night, actually. It was because he said exactly what the audience was thinking. I don't know what he just said there. I don't know. We've done this a million times.
I know.
We don't know. And David, who's, that's his third language he knows, is Bidenese. He speaks it. But it's even tough for him sometimes.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what does it mean when Biden says, ugh?
That means he is afraid he's about to poop his pants.
Okay, just checking.
The oxygen whistling through his lungs.
That's Bidenese for skid mark.
Uh-oh, controversial piece in Newsweek. Yeah, Newsweek is still a thing. About Taylor Swift.
What?
Yeah.
What'd she do?
You're going to defend her, I know that.
I'm all in. I'm a Swiftie, yes. Yeah, I knew that was coming.
You said that before.
Right on the tee.
This writer, John McGillone, wrote an opinion piece saying Taylor Swift is not a good role model. And he lays out why. For starters, well, she's unmarried and childless at 34.
So?
Well, this is the point he makes. Says we must ask if her personal life choices are ones we would want our sisters and daughters to emulate. And goes on. And people are already getting ticked off and they're putting it on social media. What are you, the kicker for the Chiefs? Stay in your lane. She's awesome. Well, he said, think about her revolving door of relationships. I think especially before Travis Kelce. Said, would any loving parent want their daughter to date 12 different men in the span of just a few years? Now, if you're to answer that question, you'd say, well, probably not.
Well, no. I mean, of course not. No.
And then, he also lays out that Taylor Swift attacks the patriarchy a lot, right? It's part of the whole gig. But the writer lays out, but she tends to date, quote, strong, influential men, celebrities who embody significant social and economic power. When you look at the past boyfriends.
Right.
I don't really care. Whatever. With Taylor Swift, I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
And he said Swift either doesn't realize this hypocrisy or doesn't care. Neither of the two is a good look. She's meticulously managed by a PR machine, represents a filtered facade rather than genuine reality. What young girls truly need, perhaps without fully recognizing it, are role models who provide both authenticity and actual depth, rather than the artificial narratives and superficial glamour.
Man, 80,000 people aren't going to pay to see that, okay?
Well, no.
This is the same tired arguments that we had with our parents about pop stars or rock stars or whatever in our time, how bad they were.
And if, honestly, and I'm not making the argument for the Newsweek guy, but the people that I put on a pedestal, they were terrible role models.
Well, of course they were, but you were 13, 14 years old or whatever.
I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, I argued with my parents about that. You don't know. Nikki Sixx is probably a really good guy.
And Vince Neil is sober as a priest.
No, I mean, they're horrible people, but, right? I mean,
this is the Mark Lee Van Camp and Robin show. All right, biggest story today, David.
Biggest story of the day is that the Supreme Court has come to the correct conclusion in a 6-3 decision, with the liberals dissenting and the conservative majority having some common sense that Donald Trump, or any president really, has some level of immunity from criminal prosecution. And, of course, this has major implications for the criminal prosecutions against Donald Trump. The prosecutor is going to have to go back to the drawing board to establish that whatever he's charging Donald Trump with that he was not acting in his official capacity as president when he was doing it.
So basically, the reaction right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, there you go.
Freaking out. All right, another illegal alien crime. You want to hear that? Much more coming up.
Light TV. Be careful.
The Markley Van Camp and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. Okay.
Need help? Be careful.
Did you know YouTube is the #1 streaming platform in the US? Advertising here can help you hit your reach targets faster. There's only one YouTube. Be part of it with YouTube ads.
Interstate. I mean, there was nothing around, just farmland.
Yes.
And he's driving down the interstate, and he sees it. And to this day, he's the most sober, down-to-earth guy I know, too.
What do you think about World UFO Day, David?
I mean, every day is World UFO Day because they are among us.
Yeah.
I don't know why you need a specific holiday for it.
I just hope at some point we can get better pictures than it just look like a Pong game.
Well, you get out there with the camera.
No, I don't even believe it. I won't believe it until I see it.
They're going to visit you. You keep talking. They're going to show up at your house.
That's fine. Do it. I want to see you, E.T. looking sons. You know, I want to see it.
I'm kind of that way too. Until they show up, I'm not really, believing in them. And if they were real, they wouldn't want to come here because we're just too dumb.
Probably true.
That's exactly why
they're going to show up at Veronica's house tonight.
That's all right.
And you're going to see one standing over your bed. He's going to say, "Oh yeah, I don't exist, huh? Here I am."
I'll just put it this way: we don't farm cattle because we think they'd make great conversation at dinner.
Think about that one for a while.
We farm cattle because they are dinner. They're not coming to us for conversations and goodwill, Veronica. I'm sorry to tell you. They're here for domination.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, you know,
Doubting Veronica, Doubting Jimmer, Scared
Have a good
Scott,
one.
and I'll let you fill in, David.
Well, I'm a believer like David. I'm not.
No, you're not. You just have the guts to admit you don't believe. Because you're afraid if you say it, then they're going to come for you.
Right. So I'm on the record saying I believe.
Okay.
Like Santa, I don't want to take chances.
All right, what else is on the show today?
Of course, we've got the reaction to the Supreme Court's ruling yesterday. I mean, Joe Biden lied a bunch last night when he was talking about the implications of this immunity ruling, just absolutely overstating what actually occurred. And I find it not surprising, just really, really disappointing. Pre-K and kindergarten teachers, meanwhile, are sounding the alarm about pandemic babies. You see, the youngest kids that were born at the beginning of the pandemic are now in pre-K and in kindergarten, my daughter being among them, and they are, in some places, way behind. Not because of schooling, but because a lot of the social interactions and cues were missed out on. So we'll be getting to that. I think that's coming up at 10 o'clock, near the top of the hour at 10 o'clock this morning. Longtime Democrat strategist wonders why the party even exists, and is the polling for Joe Biden really that bad, or is it a mirage? And we got so much more to get to, of course. Y'all have a fantastic day, and watch out for aliens.
Time for a look at traffic here in Portland. With it this morning at 9:05, here's Jeff Austin.
It's been a pleasant drive in this morning, and it remains that way. Southbound I-5 from SR 500 heading down, looks like to the Fremont Bridge. Not looking too bad at a 16-minute commute. Newburgh to Tigard, 99W northbound. From 219 to 217, that's a 25-minute journey. Still got that crash southbound 217 approaching Hall. Fairview to Portland on 84 is a 15-minute drive in. TV Highway, you're looking good. 24-minute drive time from Hillsborough to Beaverton, and Highway 47 cruising the speed limit between Banks and Yamhill. In the KXL Traffic Center, I'm Jeff Austin.
Thank you, Jeff. Now the forecast from KGW's Chris McGinnis.
An excessive heat watch in effect from the 4th of July on into the weekend. Scorching heat in that part of our forecast today. Just bright, sunny, and comfortable. 76 today, 53 tonight, tomorrow back into the lower 80s.
I need a target.
I'm KGW meteorologist Chris McGinnis for FM News 101.
Thank you, Chris. Be sure to stay connected with FM News 101 KXL.
Are you ready?
I can't cast that
Jamie
yet.
Markley,
That
David
spell
Van Camp,
is
and
ready.
Scott Robbins. Making sense of it all and having some fun. This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
That's still recharging.
the Supreme Court.
Well, it's bedwetting and propaganda. The amount of lies that have been told in the last 24 hours is stunning to me about what the Supreme Court ruled. What they said was that if a president does something within his official capacity as president,
I
he's
can't cast
immune
that yet.
from
That
criminal
spell
prosecution.
isn't
They
ready
actually
yet.
laid out a path to prosecute a president or former president. But they said in terms of how you decide what is an official act or not an official
That's
act,
still
that is
recharging.
up to the prosecutors and judges on a case-by-case basis. All they did was reaffirm something that has been understood since basically the founding of this country.
All I can think in my own head is you had the other Supreme Court ruling come down late last week about censorship. And I certainly didn't like the way that went.
Yet.
And we're not going to get into debating all of that, but as far as First Amendment, and, a lot of people had said for all practical purposes, it's unenforceable against large-scale government censorship if it wants to, through social media and other things when you're talking about whether that was the vaccine,
isn't
COVID,
ready yet. I
fill in
can't
the
cast
blank.
that yet.
It seemed to have a bigger impact, but boy, this is different because Orange Man Bad is involved in this one. And all of a sudden, like ABC this morning, they're calling it the Trump ruling.
Yeah, which is interesting. The Trump ruling.
Well, the ruling will have an impact on the Trump case.
That's still recharging.
With Jack Smith. But it's not a Trump ruling, at least in my eyes, because it involves all presidents.
Yeah, it's not specific to Donald Trump. And in fact, they seem to go out of their way to avoid the question about, let me put it a different way. They didn't specifically rule on the criminal cases involving Donald Trump. They were answering a specific question about when the president does and does not have immunity from criminal prosecution. That's it. And if you read some of the rulings, including Amy Coney Barrett, as she was concurring with the majority opinion, she did cast doubt on whether or not Trump was immune in specific cases.
That spell
in the criminal cases
ready
against
yet.
him.
So that's not getting talked about.
No, like, for example,
That's still recharging. I can't
Trump was
cast that
pressuring
yet.
the Justice Department to try to find election fraud. He'd be immune from criminal prosecution more than likely. With
It's
that,
too
because
far away.
you're talking to your Justice Department, and there is no constitutional requirement that says the Justice Department has to be siloed off from the president. It's part of the executive branch. However, she suggested that if he was also pressuring then state officials to put together a fake slate of electors, then that may not actually be protected under presidential immunity. Like, that may be something that he can be prosecuted for. So this idea that they just created massive criminal immunity for the president is a lie.
Correct. But Joe Biden, he went out there, and you know what?